Lisa Kalinchuk, and I'm the Vice President, Research and Innovation at the University of Victoria. It's my pleasure to welcome everyone this morning to the Marine Technology Center here in beautiful, North Saanich, for this important announcement to advance innovation and collaboration in energy, climate, and sustainability. Before we begin the event, I would like to acknowledge with respect the Lekwungen peoples on whose traditional territory the university stands, and the Songhees, Esquimalt, and Wasanich peoples whose historical relationships with the land continue to this day. Today, we're pleased to be joined by our partners from the Ministry of Energy, Mines, and Low Carbon Innovation to celebrate the next steps in the Blind Channel project through UVic's Institute for Integrated Energy Systems and the Pacific Regional Institute for Marine Energy Discovery. We're excited to have the Honourable Josie Osborne, Minister of Energy, Mines and Low Carbon Innovation, with us today. Thank you, Minister. Minister Osborne is no stranger to the marine environment, having worked for years as a fisheries biologist and also previously serving as Minister of Land, Water and Resource Stewardship. Through her career, Minister Osborne has advanced and continues to advance and advocate for education, research and science to propel British Columbia's leadership in clean energy technology and innovation. I'm excited this morning to invite Minister Osborne to say a few words. Minister.
Good morning, everybody. It is incredibly wonderful to be here on the territory of the Wasanich peoples on the Saanich Peninsula. And of course, today we're here at the UVic Marine Technology Center to celebrate clean tech and a clean future for coastal residents. And I want to thank Lisa for a very warm introduction and for welcoming us here today. As many of you know, before I was elected MLA, I served as the mayor of Tofino. And going back even further, as Lisa alluded to, I spent a decade working as a fisheries biologist with the Nachalneth First Nations and working very closely with their communities on natural resource management issues. And I'm sharing this for two reasons. First, I absolutely love British Columbia's incredible, beautiful, unique, wild coast. Over 25,000 kilometers of rugged coastline that are home to rich marine ecosystems, active coastal industries, thriving towns and cities, and also remote communities living far off the power grid. But second, my time in local government and working in fisheries management really brought home for me just how important it is to work together to achieve our goals and advance mutual interests. And I'm very much reminded of those values as I stand here today because the work that we're here to celebrate is all about collaboration. I'm incredibly excited to be here, standing here with our partners at the University of Victoria to talk more about the innovative work that they're doing. And today, I'm incredibly pleased to announce $2 million in provincial support for the University of Victoria's Pacific Regional Institute for Marine Energy Discovery. PRIMED is a real-life laboratory, the one we're standing in right now, for new technologies that will help coastal communities from polluting diesel fuel to community-owned, reliable energy. And just imagine capturing the power of the ocean, the surf, the sun, to free communities from needing to rely on fossil diesel fuel for heat and light and transportation and jobs. Here in British Columbia, we have more than 50 remote communities who will greatly benefit from the work that's taking place at Blind Channel on West Thurlow Island. And I am so excited about the new technologies that are being worked on here and the impact that they will have on people and the marine sector in BC, in Canada, and indeed across the world. The impacts of climate change are all around us, and delay is not an option. Everyone knows we need to pollute less and use cleaner, more affordable sources of energy. And that innovation in science and technology is what's needed to get us there, along with unwavering political vision and will. I've seen that political will and vision here in abundance in British Columbia, and we're relying on PRIMED and other innovators to develop and prove new clean technologies to reduce pollution and help meet the legislated climate goals that we have set out in Clean BC, our climate action plan. Reaching a net zero future on land and sea will require a collective effort from all British Columbians across all sectors, First Nations, communities, academia, and industry. The fact is, there are opportunities throughout our province. Each region holds its own unique opportunities to expand and grow within our low-carbon future, and our government is working to ensure that everyone in BC will continue to benefit from advanced technology innovations that are driving economic opportunities. By working closely with academia, with local companies, with workers, communities, and First Nations to achieve these Clean BC goals. It is a win-win for the economy and for our environment. I'm really looking forward to seeing the success of PRIMED for the people of British Columbia. And this investment is just one of many actions that BC is taking to transition to a low-carbon future in which everyone can enjoy the benefits of cleaner air, cleaner water, good-paying jobs, and the stability of an economy that is looking to what lies ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Minister Osborne. We're deeply grateful at the University of Victoria for this investment and looking forward to working in partnership with the government and others on the expansion of this project. And, you know, one thing I want to highlight is that the University of Victoria is committed to community-based projects just like the one at Blind Channel. This project will create jobs, it will create economic and social benefits while empowering communities to adopt clean energy projects throughout British Columbia and beyond. And as a researcher who's made a global impact, President Kevin Hall has set this example at UVic and is leading us as we move forward in this way. His work as a researcher before he became an administrator and president already demonstrated his commitment as his work in water quality and health in marginalized communities across the globe had huge impact. And under President Hall's leadership, UVic has doubled down on its commitment to supporting communities near and far and to finding new opportunities for collaboration. And this project at Blind Channel serves, as I said, as an exemplar of this work. I'm really happy now to invite President Hall to say a few words. Kevin?
Well, thanks, Lisa, for your kind words, and huge thanks to the Minister for your remarks and support. But I think more importantly, the passion and determination that you bring to the ministry, and we're all excited about that. I'm really pleased to be here today at the Marine Technology Centre in North Saanich on the land of the Wasanich peoples. I'd like to pay my respects to elders past and present and pledge to walk the path to reconciliation together. So UVic has been committed to climate action and sustainability for more than 3 decades, producing vital research and, more importantly, producing impact for people, places, and planets. And from preserving local ecosystems to hosting the biggest ocean observation network in the world, leading transformational change is common thread through our education, our research, and our culture. And in fact, in our new strategic plan that will be released this summer, it features as one of the themes. The culture of transformational change will be a pillar of which we hold up at UVic. We're also among the top 5 universities in the world in 3 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, as rated by the 2022 Times Higher Education Impact Rankings, excelling in climate action and life below the water categories. So, Minister, we're so grateful, first of all, for the $2 million. That's no small gift. The researchers will be very happy. We're thankful because this really pushes further the important work in climate action and renewable energy by supporting UVic's Pacific Regional Institute for Marine Energy and Discovery, which I now learned is called PRIMED, not PRIMED that I thought. Thank you, Brad. PRIMED is a leader in marine renewable energy along the BC coast, and it acts as a convener and an honest broker that connects technology developers and BC's coastal communities. The Blind Channel Initiative is a bold and innovative project that brings industry and communities together to really further the implementation and execution of community-based clean energy systems. This will not only help British Columbia reach its goals in the Clean BC roadmap for a net zero future, but it creates significant economic, health, and social benefits in these communities. And I think this is a really incredible initiative to start leading BC towards more of a knowledge-based economy, which I think has to be the future for this province and for this country. Blind Channel will also help position BC as a global leader to export the potential of this technology to help communities around the globe, to make a difference to the almost 2 billion people that live along coastlines of this world that still depend on diesel fuel and other types of fossil fuel generating systems. And so, Brad, for the work you do and the work your team's doing, it's nothing short of remarkable. It's going to make a profound difference for the people here in BC and beyond. And of course, these projects don't happen by themselves. I'd really like to thank the Dean of Engineering, Mina Hofer, who's Mina, and also to Lisa Kellingchuk, because Lisa, as the Vice President of Research, is kind of the person that makes some of these things happen and works tirelessly for the researchers at the university. And so on behalf of the University of Victoria, thank you, Minister Osborne. Thank you to the province for the support for this vital partnership, this vital project. And this is going to have a transformational change for the community that this project's taking place. So thanks again for your support.
Thanks a lot, Kevin, for your words. And I just want to offer, as a member of Kevin's team, that it's his continued leadership that is ensuring that UVic is increasingly seen as Canada's climate university, and we can't wait to do even more in this space. Our next speaker is the chair of the Department of Mechanical Engineering and co-director of PRIMED, Dr. Brad Buckham. Through PRIMED, Dr. Buckham and his team are working to serve as a conduit between industry and community to eliminate uncertainty and risk and ensure British Columbia's position as a global leader in marine energy technology adoption, development, and deployment. PRIMED serves as a critical convener to help build trust between communities and technology developers, which is necessary to helping us displace diesel and other GHG emitting energy sources in favor of a clean energy future for rural, remote, and Indigenous communities along British Columbia's coast. I would like to welcome Dr. Buckham to the podium to say a few words. Brad.
Thanks, Lisa, and thank you all, whether you're here physically or virtually, for attending today. And I'd like to welcome you to PRIMED, the specific site that we're standing in, the lab that we're standing in right now. PRIMED is a marine energy commercialization center that I feel confident saying is unique in Canada. And as I hope the name suggests, PRIMED is about putting pieces, people, and processes in place that are needed to launch first-of-a-kind community-based marine energy projects on the BC coast. From the space that we're standing in here today, we assemble a variety of instruments. A number of them are here, and we'll tour them later. We assemble them, commission them, prep them, and then deliver them to specific sites on the BC coast where we measure waves, winds, and tidal currents. Behind me, in the room in the computer lab over my shoulder, we run and create all sorts of computer models that build a firm understanding and a detailed picture of the marine resources BC has all over its coastline, and also on how specific devices and technologies will produce electricity when deployed in specific locations. To my left is an experimental test bench where we look at developing controllers that would manage the electricity that comes off of these devices to merge it into small community microgrids. So these are all technical accomplishments, but what you won't see evidence of in this space, at least not without a little help, is what I'm most proud of as a feature of PRIMED, and that's our partnerships, and at the risk of being too bold, I'll say friendships. PRIMED's an initiative born out of the Institute for Integrated Energy Systems, or what we lovingly call ICEVIC at UVic. And from the ICEVIC extended family, we rely not only on technical know-how, but also on people who find innovative means of shaping policy, business models, and investment to support community-scale clean energy development. If you look closely at the equipment that's in the room, you're going to find stickers from companies like Access Technologies and Marine Labs. These are Victoria-based marine instrumentation companies that are local in location or where they're based from, but have global impact with their product. The software that runs on the computers in that lab is provided by DSA Ocean. That's a local Victoria-based ocean engineering consultancy. And the tidal and the wave and the wind technologies that we model using that software and we assess include, as examples, a wave energy device from Accumulated Ocean Energy, that's a Vancouver Island-based company, a tidal converter from Yorebrook Energy Systems, that's based in Haida Gwaii, and a wave energy converter from a company named INJIN, that's in Seoul, South Korea. But what we cherish most here in PRIMED are our relationships with communities. Running through PRIMED, ICEVIC, and UVic, there is a shared belief that communities will provide the leadership Canada needs to reach our 2050 decarbonization goals. And ironically, Prime's people have witnessed that some of BC's smallest communities can set some of the biggest examples in terms of aspirational and meaningful energy system transformation. And everything we do at Primed is shaped to mitigate the risks that these communities willingly take on to put certainty in their energy plans so that small populations of like-minded people can show British Columbians how marine energy resources can be harnessed sustainably. Minister Osborne, the support that you've announced today allows us to take our support of community marine energy projects to another level. Our field data, the computational tools, and the experimental techniques will be applied to create a first-of-its-kind, tidal energy-based, renewable energy system at the Blind Channel Wilderness Resort. We're going to evolve a new partnership, a new friendship, with Elliot Richter, whose family has owned and operated the Blind Channel Resort for more than 50 years, and who has stepped forward and said that he's willing to show how a community hub for the Discovery Passage region can be transitioned off of strict dependence on diesel-fueled electricity generation. And working together, we're going to create a template system that other communities can adapt to fit their own ambitions. Elliot's here today, and I want to thank him for taking us in and for providing a home for this project. So. We're also going to work closely with Wojtek Klaptach, who's here from Mavi Innovation, standing at the back of the room. And we're going to adapt a tidal turbine that Wojtek's company already developed and field tested back in 2017 for this project. There's several other people and other companies that will be engaged as we install and integrate components of this innovative energy system. Some of these groups we already know, and you're going to hear more about them in the very near future as we get moving forward. Some of them we have yet to meet. These are relationships that are yet to be discovered. We're confident that Blind Channel is a chapter and an origin story for a BC marine energy sector. Minister Osborne, thank you for enabling all of us to write it. Now, I also want to explicitly thank Guy Jency and Kim Thrift, who I saw at the back of the room, for their work in crafting our new relationship today and for the work that they're going to put in both on this project and the ones that follow it. That was a little plug. Lastly, I want to take a moment to acknowledge Stephen Bryden, who's in the room, standing beside Curran Crawford, who's my co-director at Primed. If this moment today is a marker for what is about to occur at Blind Channel, there was a moment 7 years ago in the Jack Davis building where Stephen, our teams, filled a whiteboard talking about what this facility could and should be in order to take us from this point forward. Stephen is the former director of the Innovative Clean Energy Fund, and before anybody gets a negative connotation on the word former, Stephen is happily retired by choice. And Stephen, I just want to thank you for your guidance, your encouragement, your patience, for the role you've played in getting us to this point. So I've probably taken too much of your time. I thank you for your patience, and I hope to see you all and talk to you again as we move this project forward. Thank you again.
Thank you, Brad. I think you all can see the great enthusiasm that we hold for this project, and couldn't be more proud of Brad and Curran and everyone who's working at UVic in this area. So thank you everyone for joining us today. That concludes the formal part of the proceedings. We will be having a bit of a tour in a few minutes, so for those of you who are here in person, I invite you to stay around and join us on the tour. But before we get to the tour, I'd like to invite Minister Osborne to come back to the podium. She's graciously agreed to take a few questions if there are any questions from the audience. So, Mr. Osborne, back to you.
Thanks so much. For media on the line, please press *1 to ask a question. You'll be limited to one question and one follow-up. Please state your name and outlet. No questions online. That concludes today's event. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.